Hello. So we are
Hi.
live from Canada and India. Like
Oh my God.
this has to be live because this is an
Too
excellent
big.
news, too big a news for us to remain quiet. It's like early in the morning in India. It's like 6 o'clock in
That's
India,
right.
and
Yeah.
it's 8:30 in night in Canada. So we are
This
live
is what
now,
you call
and we
passion.
want to.
This is what you call passion.
This is
Right.
what's passion. No newspaper can hire us because we have so much passion. So
Probably.
this is what's the reason for our going live? Is because
Elon
uh,
Musk is investing in India, and it's finally
yes,
confirmed because
yes,
it was doing the rounds for quite a while that he would be, Tesla would be setting up its factory in India, but there were certain impediments, especially the, high import duty, which was 100%. So Tesla kind of stepped backwards. It invested in China, and in China, in Shanghai, the factory which it has in China, in Shanghai, it
yeah.
produces around 7,50,000 cars, electric vehicle cars. But in India, the market is huge. But and especially keeping in mind the fact that Narendra Modi was all about make in India, make in India. So obviously talks didn't quite fructify. But after his talks with the Prime Minister in New York just a
Let me
few while
just
back.
interrupt you, Digonto. One minute. Blocks and our people will be show arrested. Them the. So, one
Right.
cannot just apply, America to Earth because America Earth is not. They have different rules and regulations and different forms of government. So, but we'll do the best to provide uh, the freest speech that is possible under the law. Okay, so he says Modi is to provide the freest speech under the what? Under the law. So
Right.
that's
Right.
really incredible that he is, he considers. I think he was just ready for Modi to land in New York, and he
That's
took
right.
his own private jet, and he must have arrived at New York because I remember India, the government of India had bottlenecks about Tesla. They were
Hmm.
controlling Tesla coming into India. There were lots of problems. So now I think he just must have hugged Modi and said, "Please let me in." And Modi like went anti himself. Modi went anti himself because India is all about make in India. So that's the reason why Tesla was not allowed in India.
Right.
Most of
And
because
also the size, that also
size.
matters. As I
Okay.
said that, I mean, there was a time when like in Shanghai, Tesla is manufacturing close to 8 lakh cars, but
Yeah.
in India that market is not that huge, so obviously lots of I mean, factors need to be weighed in. But obviously, if at all this fructifies, and we really hope that it does see the light of the day finally. I think it's going to be a huge boost for employment, no doubt about that, because Tesla is a, it's a big brand, and so far as the push for electric vehicles is concerned, that's also going to get a huge fill.
Yeah. I think because Elon Musk is going to India now, there's going to be a huge competition in the car business. So apparently, a Tesla vehicle, battery vehicle, electric car over here costs around. It starts from $37,000 to
Mhm.
$40,000, something like that, and
Mhm.
that would be how much in Indian currency? More
That will
than
be, I have to calculate.
30,000 into 60. Let
Mhm.
30,000 Canadian dollars, 37,000, 40,000 Canadian dollars into 60 is comes to around 18, so it comes to around 18 lakhs. It should be around 18
No,
lakhs.
that's costly. I think it will be probably for the elite class covered, like the middle class may
Yeah,
not
but
be able to afford
they
such cars.
should, like make it available for the middle class. I'm sure
Right.
they're going to compete with Tata and Nano and Maruti, and I don't know which other cars are there right now in India because
More or
um,
less nano is dominating the market,
Nano
right?
is like 1 lakh cars. It's like
1 lakh,
one
and
lakh.
it's like 18
Yeah,
lakh.
it's
I
like
think Elon Musk. It's imperative that Elon Musk really understands the ground reality, because if he really wants to invest in India, he has to cater to the Indian market as a whole. And I think a very insignificant section comprises the elite class. So that way, if he wants to reach out, if he wants to spread his wings, then obviously he has to cut down on his price, on,
Yeah.
on the price of
And we
Tesla.
have to probably, go for something smaller and something which the middle class of India can afford. And that's the only way
Absolutely,
he can expand into India, because
absolutely.
India is a country of hardworking people, not just elite class. It has a huge section of elite class,
That's
but
what I
mostly
said. Right,
middle class. Yeah, so he has
right,
to
right.
cater to the middle class people. I'm sure. I'm very excited about this news, because we'll see battery cars are very necessary for the environment, as we can see the huge heat that is being generated, like the sun. It's so hot. The global warming is practically eating up the world, and we
That's
have
right.
to take the first few steps, like we have already started taking it, and we have to go for the electric cars just to save up fuel and electricity and generally pollution. So, which is why I think we should go for the electric car. And India is a
Right.
big market for Tesla. It's going to be
Absolutely.
beneficial for India and Tesla. Like Elon
Right.
Musk is going to go crazy if he can capture the Indian market, the
And look at
highest
his face.
market.
Look at his face. When he was
Yeah,
talking to the media, he was like blushing. And
he was
I mean, this is
blushing.
something that
That's the thing.
exactly. This is
That's what I
something that
thought.
he had been striving towards for the last. In fact, it was in 2021 that Tesla and the union government almost came to a deal, but somewhere down the line, because of certain bottlenecks, as you pointed out,
Mm.
it didn't really sort of the ball didn't really roll on. But now, after his talks with Narendra Modi, I guess things are rolling back. And if at all they do, I mean, that's going to be news. That's going to be music in our ears, no doubt about that. And
Okay, there's
obviously, as you said, right.
something just come up. It's just 44 minutes ago. So just
Mm.
let the viewers watch
I
this.
think India has more promise than any large country in the world. Yeah. Takeaways from the meeting. He really cares about India because he's pushing us to make significant investments in India, which is something that we intend to do, and we're trying to figure out the right timing. In a nutshell, it was a fantastic meeting with the Prime Minister, and uh, I like him quite a lot. He visited our Fremont factory several years ago, and so we found out. Wow. How do you Prime Minister as far as speaking? I can say he really wants to do the right thing for India. He wants to be open. He wants to be supportive of new companies, and obviously, but at the same time, make sure it accrues to India's advantage, which is, obviously that's the job. I'm saying
Yeah, so he is now all gushing about Modi. I don't know why people, whenever they meet Modi, they're all gushing about him, and there's so much, they're blushing and all. I really don't know. I really want to meet him in person to find out what is this magic he holds for people. And there's so many like right wingers, and there's so many people who are against Modi, definitely. But I'm also not very fond of him or something. But I'm really curious to know why people just gush. Of course, I met Modi. I forgot to tell you that I met Modi in Toronto when he came to Toronto. So I didn't meet him really, but I was there in the press box when the Modi was speaking in Scotia Arena in Toronto.
See,
So
I'll tell
I
you something. Modi, I mean, let me not be that finicky, but I guess, I mean, Modi would try to score some brownie points because he's in the US at a time when Manipur is burning, and he's been facing a lot of flack from
sound
opposition.
sound sound
I think there's a phone. Just a second.
mm, sound. Your sound is. You have to check your sound. It's not coming. Yeah,
There's a,
now.
so the thing is, Modi would be quite keen on scoring some brownie points, especially keeping in mind the fact that he has been at the receiving end of the opposition parties, and also, I mean, people per se, because of his silence on the Manipur stir. But that's a different issue altogether. But I mean, looking at the larger picture, if at all this thing turns out to be true in the sense if it fructifies, if it materializes, then it's going to sort of create wonders, no doubt about that. But I would agree with you that the price factor might be a roadblock.
Yeah. So, why do you think Modi? People are so excited about meeting Modi. That's what am like so so
He has a
excited.
charisma. He has a charisma, and he's a great PR man. And I'm not a Modi bhakt, to be very honest. But
Mm.
from a very neutral point of view, and from the point of view of a political observer, I must say that if he's taking some steps, and if they are not, if they do not have any vendetta as such, then obviously, I mean, his actions should be welcomed. But it all depends on how beneficial they are for the country as a whole. Because no matter what we say, no matter how much we boast around the GDP factor and all that, you know, I mean, like unemployment is an issue. So if at all Modi can actually, pull out a deal with Elon Musk, then as we have been discussing at the very outset, from the very outset rather, this
Yeah.
would do wonders. Let's hope for the best. And so far as Modi is concerned, well, he's an enigma to me. I mean, he always has his share of criticism. He always has his share of what should I say, brickbats. But at the end of the day, he doesn't bother. He's very stubborn at times. He doesn't speak on everything and anything under the sun. And yeah, you remember we had a podcast on his silence on the restless
Yeah.
protest, but he's yet to speak up. Though his,
But something
I
happened
mean,
right? After that
exactly.
podcast. Something
Certainly,
actually happened.
it has been totally politicized. Now, I mean, there are sections. Sakshi Malik, who was one of the protesters, she, I mean, spoke at length on how they have been sort of facing impediments. They have been facing problems, and she also ruled the fact that there is a lack of unity among the, I mean, wrestling fraternity. And Babita Fogat, who happens to be a BJP leader, Sakshi and her husband alleged that Bobita was the one who initiated the movement, but then Bobita has backed out. And I mean, like, Bobita in fact sent a very strong rebuttal saying that I mean, it's all false. I mean, it's all been politicized, and this is actually politics at its worst,
So,
honestly speaking.
wasn't there this thing arrest warrant for Bridge
If
Bridge
a charge sheet has been filed
Plastic?
by Delhi police, a
Yeah,
charge,
yeah.
but so far as the, I mean, minor sexual assault is concerned, I mean, that allegation which was, I mean, heaped by her father, that
Hmm.
girl's father, he has actually withdrawn it. So he's been kind of what should I say, absolved of those charges, but obviously he's facing sexual assault charges. So it remains to be seen how, I mean, how things unfurl in the days to come. But Bridge Bhushan is a very strong personality. But anyway, we've kind of sort of diverted. So before we wind up, Kaveri, I mean, let me thank you from the bottom of my heart for the, dragging me into this conversation, Elon Musk. You are
Yeah, we
always
are very
full of
excited
zeal and
about Elon
energy.
Musk going to
Exactly,
India.
exactly.
I am very
Right.
excited.
And I
It's
really hope that I may sound biased, but I really hope that he closes in on, what should I say, place in Bengal. But I don't think it's going to be possible
your
due
sound
to
is
the fact
gone.
that,
Your sound is gone
just a
again.
second.
You frozen. Okay, so we'll end this video. I hope you guys check into the live section and comment if you have to, and let me and Diganto know what else do we need to do our channels better. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye. How do I end this? Okay.